spiritual accounting. Chesbon hanefesh. Person has to live with chesbon. So if you ask many people, what is chesbon hanefesh? They're going to say, chesbon hanefesh is to list all of the bad things I've done. Well, let's look at it in a quite literal way. An accountant is called roeh cheshbon. Now imagine if you had an accountant, and the accountant only kept a record of your debits and not your credits, only your liabilities and not your assets, only what you owe and not what you own. That's a pretty lopsided accounting. Accounting requires that you take into account not only the debits, but also the credits. So it's important to understand that when we undergo a chesbon hanefesh, we're not just looking at the failures, the mistakes, and the omissions. We have to take account of our strengths. We have to take account of our accomplishments. We have to look back at the year and think about the victories that we had in our human relationships, in our relationships with Hashem, the various encounters in which we could have faltered and we navigated it successfully. Because when you become aware of your successes, that gives you the chizuk to go on. So point number one about chesbon hanefesh is you're not just looking at mistakes. You have to be cognizant about your victories in life. Now the victories might be small, they might be big. You know, if you managed not to snap at your child when he spilled the milk, that's a great victory, because we naturally get irritated with a lot of things. If there are certain people that set you off, and you manage to survive an encounter in a decent and dignified way, that's a victory. Pat yourself on the back. God is proud of you. You should be proud of yourself. And this is also an important dynamic that people say, oh, aren't you supposed to be humble? Aren't you supposed to be modest? Well, it's a complicated talk. It's a whole other talk here. But the sense of healthy self-esteem and being proud of what you've done can coexist with genuine humility. It's not arrogant. It's not putting other people down. It's not looking at yourself as better than others. But I'm proud of what I managed to do. And God knows it, and I know it. Maybe other people don't notice it or not, but whatever it is, I accomplished something. And that's meaningful. So point number one about chesbon hanefesh is assets, not just liabilities, credits, not just debits, what you own spiritually, and not only what you owe. That's point number one. Point number two is, those people who work with teenagers know that, or have teenagers, know that adolescents often have very, very powerful emotions. So in the yeshiva setting, a common thing you'll often see, maybe in our Sameach at least, is you'll see a teenager who maybe drank a little too much Friday night, or Purim especially, and will start crying and sobbing. I want to be righteous, Rebbe. I want to be a tzaddik. I want to be good. I so much want to be good. Now, I don't want to make fun of it too much, although I'm going to make a little bit of fun of it. This kind of, that's why I like to deal with more sedate adults. The emotions are difficult for me, actually, personally. Maybe that's my problem. But the point is, a lot of this emotionality is pitched in such a general, vague plane. I just want to be a better person. It doesn't translate into anything. In fact, what normally happens is the guy gets drunk, he's crying for 5 hours about how he wants to be a tzaddik, and then he oversleeps and misses shachris the next day. And in many, many ways, this is often a problem we have in thinking about the new year. The Chafetz Chaim made a very pragmatic point. The Chafetz Chaim says, you got to approach Avodat Hashem the way you approach a business. This is based on a pasuk in Mishlei. Shlomo HaMelech says, Im tevakshena kakesef. You must seek out Yirat Hashem the way you seek out money. Now imagine if you're establishing a business, whether it's a falafel stand or a pizza place or a psychological clinic or whatever it is. You can't just say, I want to help people. You got to think about a lot of questions. You think about location, you think about financing, you think about the risks that you'll face. You'll think about your strengths, you'll think about your deficits. Now, granted, no business plan is set in stone. Obviously, life changes, circumstances change. You have to have the flexibility to modify things as they happen. But you also have to be somewhat specific in trying to figure out what the likely problems are. It can't just be this generic idea. So in spiritual life, when you engage in a chesbon nefesh, it's not enough to simply say, my goal next year is to be a better person than I was this year. That's fine, that's good. But specifically, think about, what are my strengths, what are my deficits? What are the dangers that I face? What sets me off in certain interactions? Why, when I meet a certain person, do I behave a certain way? And then I try to script out, how could I change the script? If they say X, what do I respond? Think it out, plan it out, be concrete, be specific. Now, part of it is we don't always have time, and paradoxically, the Yom Noran themselves, you don't have, and let's take Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is a great day of atonement, it's a great day for God. How much time do we have on Yom Kippur to engage in a serious, introspective chesbon nefesh of our individual lives? We almost have no time whatsoever. You're either davening the whole day, and during the break, you're tired, you need a little bit of rest. So if you're doing chesbon nefesh, you got to do it before. You can't do it on the Yom Noran themselves. Yom Noran is the culmination of a process, and the whole month of Elul is the time when we devote some thought to it. So even if it's 5 or 10 minutes a day, make a business plan, a life plan, where you want to be, where you want to go, how you propose to get there. What are the pitfalls that you're going to face? Try to anticipate the difficulties you're going to have. Be specific, not generic. That's point number 2. Point number 3 is also be realistic and manageable. Sometimes people set goals that are so unbelievably high that they're really setting themselves up for failure. And the problem with failure is it doesn't only take away from that high goal that you were attempting, but failure can make you lose even the goals you've already achieved in life. Those of you that from the United States and a little older, younger would know that they remember a cartoon character, the Roadrunner. And one of the conceits in the Roadrunner was that there was this bird that would run off the roof, super fast, and until it realized it was running on air, it just kept on going. Then all of a sudden it looked down and crash. And that's what happens.
That's a coyote.
That's a
Oh, is it coyote? Okay, maybe I'm getting my
Roadrunner.
There's an actual animal that does this in
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah, but it's a cartoon. Now, what happens is that
She's an animal therapist.
Oh.
It's an animal that treads on water, and if it stops,
That on top of water, you said?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
it's type of reptile.
You could found your religion, you want on water, but okay. The thing is this. The thing is that you see this in Ocean all the time.
I remember the Roadrunner doing this as well as the Coyote.
Thank
you. There's a few of us who remember.
It's a cartoon thing. They would do a lot.
By the way, I also remember, I didn't know
Roadrunner was
later
smarter.
that all the music they played in cartoons were famous classical pieces. I didn't realize that. I heard like Beethoven or Mozart. Hey, that's from, Rocky or whatever it is. But okay, anyway, but the thing is, we see this all the time. A guy comes to our Sameach, he's wearing a tank top and shorts, long hair, and then 2 days later, he has payas and shtreimel and wearing a kapata. All of a sudden, radical changes. But what happens to the people who go from tank top to kapata is 2 days later, they'll go from kapata back to tank top. We have to be realistic. Think about it this way. Physical exercise is a perfect example. A person wants to build up their strength by lifting weight. Now, if you can comfortably, let's take 30 pounds. If all you're going to do is lift the same weight you can already do easily, you're never going to get strong. You have to do more. You have to go beyond your comfort zone. Certainly, tshuva is about growing, about challenging yourself, about not just being the same thing all the time. On the other hand, if you say, oh, today I only do 30, tomorrow morning I'm going to start with 350, that's going to break you. Or you walk by the Jerusalem Marathon, you haven't run in 50 years. You say, oh, marathon tomorrow, okay, I'm going to sign up for the full marathon. Doesn't work. That's why this year I'm not going to join the marathon. Maybe next year, maybe that might be a goal for me too, maybe a year later.
Can you turn that music down just a little?
You know, so on one hand, you got to be specific. On the other hand, you have to be realistic, and take a manageable goal that you can be consistent with, that stretches you, that takes you beyond your parameters, but within the reality of your personality and situation. That builds confidence. Now, these are not artificial. See, I'm not just playing like amateur psychology. These are spiritually important ideas, because when you build confidence that you're able to accomplish a goal, that is what Chazal meant when they said mitzvah gereres mitzvah, that the doing of one mitzvah gives you the strength and the chesbon to keep on going. And we need to set ourselves up for success and not for failure, because success breeds success, and it gives us chizuk and encouragement. So these are three preliminary points about chesbon hanefesh. Number one, take account of your strengths, not just your liabilities. Number two, be specific. And number three, be realistic as well. And that's why in the Vilna Gaon's commentary on Mishlei, there are many, many statements in the Gaon's commentary where he talks about not going to levels that are higher than you're ready to go to. And this is indeed a pasuk in Koheles. Al tihi tzadik harbe. Do not be too much of a tzaddik. You might say, what's wrong with being too much of it? How can there be too much of a tzaddik? The answer is yeah. There's a certain madrega, there's a certain set point that we are. We can certainly be greater than we are, but we have to not go to a breaking point that can ultimately destroy us. And that's a famous word from the Chafetz Chaim. The Chafetz Chaim said, we say in Ma'ariv every night, V'hasar Satan milfanenu macharenu. Remove the Satan from before us, in front of us, and in back of us. So the Chafetz Chaim said, I understand the Satan in front of us. I want to learn, I want to daven, and the Satan is blocking the door. So I ask Hashem, remove the Yetzer Hara that stops me from doing good. But what is the Satan in back of me? If I've already passed him, I'm safe. He says, no. Sometimes it's the Satan that's pushing you to do more, do more, do more, knowing that you may ruin your health or whatever it would be, like learn till 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's also a Satan. That's why the Chafetz Chaim would turn out the lights in the Beis Medrash at 12 o'clock, etc. People needed sleep. It was the Yetzer Hara to push themselves beyond the breaking point. And although most of us are not on that madrega where we're pushing ourselves and learning that hard, but in many, many aspects of family life, people are taking on pressures that can break them. And it's important to understand that tshuva has to be beyond our comfort zone, but in a way that doesn't break us, that doesn't destroy us.